Let me ask you a question. What if Pinterest was actually telling you what content you should create before that content becomes massively popular? And what if you did not have to spend hours trying to guess keywords, guess trends, or figure out what Pinterest wants? Because there is actually a section inside Pinterest that can give you some very interesting clues. It's called Moments. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it to find rising seasonal opportunities, how I turn those signals into content ideas, and how you can use the same strategy even if you are a complete beginner. And I'm also going to show you a real example from one of my own Halloween articles that is already getting traffic and generating sales. So let's get right into it. So guys, the biggest mistake I see beginners making on Pinterest is this. They sit down and ask, what should I create? Then they start brainstorming. Maybe I'll write about this, maybe I'll make a post about that, maybe this keyword will work, and sometimes it does, but you are essentially guessing, guys. I prefer a different approach. Now, if you have been following my channel, I have been saying this repeatedly again and again. Guys, I want Pinterest to give me clues first. Think about it this way. Pinterest already has billions of searches and enormous amount of user behavior. It knows what people are starting to search for, it knows which seasonal topics are accelerating, and it knows which topics are likely to become more important in the coming weeks. So instead of reinventing the wheel, we can simply look at the signals Pinterest is already giving us and build content around them. That's the strategy I want to show you today. So let's do this together, guys. First, head over to Pinterest and then go to Pinterest Trends. You don't need some complicated SEO tool, guys. You don't need to be an advanced Pinterest marketer either. And you don't need a huge account as well. Once you are inside Pinterest Trends, scroll down and look for this section called Moments. This is where things get really interesting, guys. Pinterest describes moments as a way to spot what's rising so you can act early and plan for seasonal demand. And to be honest, Pinterest isn't just showing you what is popular right now. It's trying to help you identify what is rising and what is approaching. And that's a completely different opportunity, guys. Just take a quick look at what Pinterest is showing us here. We have different seasonal moments, guys. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, and on we go. But look at Halloween. It is marked as rising. That little rising indicator is extremely interesting. Pinterest is basically saying pay attention to this. And then we have the expected peak. For Halloween 2026, Pinterest is showing the peak around the week of October 21st, 2026. That is another important clue, guys. Because if you are creating Halloween content, you don't want to wait until October 20th to publish it. By then, you are already too late, guys. Pinterest is giving you an indication of when demand is expected to be strongest. So now we have two pieces of information, guys. One, Halloween is rising. Two, Pinterest expects demand to peak around October 21st. That's already much better than randomly deciding, I think I should probably publish a Halloween post in October. But now let's click into Halloween. Once I click on Halloween 2026, Pinterest takes me to the detailed Halloween trends page. And this is where I think the real gold is. At the top, Pinterest tells us that Halloween is rising at the moment. It also shows the expected peak, and we can see that demand is accelerating. In this case, Pinterest is showing a 17% week over week increase. That is useful because we are not just looking at an old established trend, we are seeing movement, we are seeing momentum. And then we get another very interesting section, guys, what users are searching for. This is the part I really want you to pay attention to because Pinterest is literally giving us related search phrases. For this Halloween moment, we can see phrases such as couples Halloween costumes, Halloween nails, Halloween costume ideas, group Halloween costumes, Halloween decor, family Halloween costumes, Halloween wallpaper, Halloween aesthetic, and on we go. Just look at what happened. We went from what's trending on Pinterest to here are actual topics Pinterest is associating with this rising seasonal moment. That's a massive difference, guys. Now, here's the trick. Don't just copy one keyword and write a boring article around it. Instead, use these phrases as content signals, guys. For example, Pinterest is showing couples Halloween costumes. That's one content opportunity. Group Halloween costumes. That's another. Halloween nails, completely different content opportunity, guys. Halloween decor, another one. Halloween costume ideas, another. So one moment can potentially give you an entire content cluster. And this is where I think beginners can make their lives much easier. You don't need to invent 20 completely random content ideas, guys. You can start with one seasonal moment, then let Pinterest show you the directions you can explore. It's almost like Pinterest is handing you the branches of the tree. Your job is to decide which branches make sense for your website, your audience, and your monetization strategy. In fact, let me show you how I apply this thinking. I have a Halloween article called Funny Halloween Costumes for Women. And this is not just a random list that I published because Halloween was coming. I took a broad Halloween demand area and turned it into a specific angle, which is funny Halloween costumes and for women. And then I made the article commercially useful. For example, one of the ideas in the article is a funny ghost costume. Another is hilarious grandma costume. Then there's a minion costume with a tutu. And there's even a living Mona Lisa costume there. Now notice what I'm doing here. I'm not simply saying here are 4 Halloween costumes. I'm building around a specific intent. And that is people want Halloween costume, but they also want something funny, unusual, and memorable. That specificity matters, guys. And this is something you can replicate. You don't have to copy my exact article, guys. In fact, please don't. Instead, take the signals Pinterest gives you and ask, what specific angle can I create around this? For example, if Pinterest is showing you Halloween costume ideas, you can create a focused article around funny Halloween costume ideas. If you are seeing couples Halloween costumes, you can create a list specifically around unique couples costumes. If you are seeing niche Halloween costumes, you should create something around unusual or underrated Halloween costume ideas. Same seasonal moment, different search intent, different piece of content, and that's how you avoid simply creating another generic Halloween article. That being said, there is one mistake I would want you to avoid, guys. Don't look at these keywords and then stuff all of them into one article. Please don't do this. It won't make any sense, guys. Pinterest is giving you signals, not instructions to put every keyword into one page. Instead, group related searches. Costumes can become one cluster, nails can become another, decor can become another, wallpaper can become another, then create content that genuinely satisfies that particular search intent. That's much smarter way to use the data, guys. So let me give you my simple 5-step process, guys. And if you're a beginner, I would literally save this. Step 1 is find a rising moment, guys. Go to Pinterest trends and scroll down to moments. Look for something marked rising or an approaching seasonal opportunity. Step 2 is check the peak. Look at when Pinterest expects demand to peak. This gives you a clue about how early you should be creating and publishing. Step 3 is open the moment. Don't stop at the moments card, guys. Click into it. That's where the useful details starts appearing. Step 4 is study the searches. Look at the phrases Pinterest is showing under what users are searching for. These are your content signals, guys. Don't automatically copy every phrase. Look for patterns. Step 5 is build content around the pattern. Choose a specific topic and then create a genuinely useful article, video, product roundup, tutorial, recipe, craft, or whatever fits your niche, guys. Then create fresh pin content around that topic. That's the entire strategy. And here's one more thing I would do, guys. Don't create only one pin. If you discover a promising seasonal topic, create multiple fresh creative angles around the same useful piece of content. Different hook, different images, different headline, different visual. But the destination should actually satisfy the search. For example, if I have an article about funny Halloween costumes for women, I can create pins around different angles, guys, such as funny Halloween costumes for women, easy Halloween costumes that gets laughs, unique Halloween costume ideas for women, last minute funny Halloween costume ideas, and so on. I am not changing the underlying content just for the sake of it. I'm testing different ways of communicating the same useful resource. So the next time you're sitting there wondering, what should I create for Pinterest? Don't immediately start brainstorming, guys. Go and look at what Pinterest is telling you. Go to Pinterest trends, find the moments, look for what's rising, check the expected peak, open the moment, study the searches, and then ask yourself, what content can I create that gives Pinterest exactly what these users are looking for? Because you don't always need to reinvent the wheel, guys. Sometimes the smartest Pinterest strategy is simply to listen. Pinterest is already showing you where the demand is moving. Your job is to get there early, create something genuinely useful, and then give that demand a reason to click. And that's the traffic trick, guys. Not guessing, not chasing random trends. Follow the signals Pinterest is already giving you. If you have found this useful, subscribe, because I'm going to keep breaking down practical Pinterest strategies that you can actually use, especially if you're starting from scratch. And I'll see you in the next one.